Now for number 4 on the practice test 5, this is the PDF of the new digital SAT. And in this problem, as always, we start with looking at the question so we know exactly what we are trying to do. And when we look at the question, again, by its placement, we should know that as a number 4, we're probably going to get this type of question. So we're completing the blank with the most logical and precise word or phrase. Okay, you can't get around comprehension. Don't try, right? Maybe on punctuation, there are some times where we can do that, and on grammar, but not here. So we're going to have to read to understand, and you can do that. You've got to build up your confidence that you can do that because you are very capable of doing it. So we start up at the top to demonstrate that the integrity of underground metal pipes can be assessed without unearthing the pipes. So we stop. And if there were a lot of words in there that you need to pause and understand, I would just start replacing them with words that you know. So maybe you kind of think of here, integrity means strength in this problem, right? To demonstrate the strength of underground metal pipes can be assessed. Maybe we say like examined or tested, right? Something like that, without unearthing them. And if you don't know what that means, you're probably just gonna have to guess, right? But I'm gonna kind of guess it means digging up, okay? The engineer, AS, and colleagues blank the tendency of some metals. So we see automatically we've got verbs, right? So we know we're dealing with verbs. Blank the tendency of some metals, that's going to be possession. So we know that the metals are possessing this internal magnetic field to alter under stress. Okay, we've got a colon, so we know they're introducing what they must have done to do something with the tendency. So they show that such alterations, can be measured from a distance and can reveal concentrations of stress. Okay, so they are measuring these things from a distance, right, to be able to show what they're trying to show, right, that we can assess these things without digging them up. And so the question is kind of what word do we replace? Our own word. Remember, we are not looking at the answers to the question in these. We cannot plug them in. While that's a wonderful tool in other parts of the SAT, it is a terrible tool for this particular type of question. So we have to ignore that and we have to pick our own word. So what are they going to do here? It's funny. I first picked, I think, like tested, like they tested the tendency, and that might get you far. Let's actually just see if you get there, what happens, because it might be interesting because I think that's where most people might start. So is test mean hypothesize? I would say no, but that's definitely the trick answer, right? Does test mean discount? No. Does test mean redefine? No. And does test mean exploit? I would say no. So when that happens, and that's totally normal, okay, when that happens, you're just going to have to say, well, I must have picked the wrong word because nothing worked, right? So we go back and we kind of start over and we say, all right, what are they doing here to, well, they're not just testing the tendency, because if we read this part, right, they are basically trying to show that the magnetic fields will alter under stress, okay? So they're like kind of pushing on that particular idea. They're really like, I don't even know if I could come up with a word, and that also is totally fine, right? It's like, I would almost say they're like pushing on the particular idea, right? So if you kind of say like, I don't know, this is a terrible, terrible choice of phrase, which is why I want to go with it, because I want to show you that you don't have to be really good at it, right? In terms of picking your own one to still get there. So they're like pushing on the idea. That's what I'm gonna kind of go with and see what happens. Well, to hypothesize, again, it's going to be the trick answer. Everyone's going to want to pick that, right? But they're not, once you're pushing on the idea, you're not doing the hypothesis. You're actually testing the hypothesis. And that kind of minute difference is the difference in getting this problem right or wrong. You've got to expect that the SAT is going to do that. So we're going to not go with that. Again, it is so tricky, right? Are they going to discount it? No, it's not quite the opposite, right? They're going to really lean on it. So it's not that. Are they going to redefine it? No. And so we end up with exploited. I don't love it. I'm not going to leave this problem thinking like, woohoo, I did a great job and I got the right answer. But you did to get the right answer. And so this is exactly why in a problem as messy and hard as this is exactly why the strategy works. And if you stick to the strategy in hard times, like this one, you're going to really see its benefits. So highly recommend, as ugly and messy as it might be, believing in the strategy.